Alrighty, we are back. We're back. Hey, sorry about that. We were live streaming earlier and I had to go take an important phone call and some things. But yay, we're back. Alright, so now we're working on the MonoGame stuff in this. Real quick, we're going to create a project for this. Add new project. Come on, please, thank you. Good project. Source. Call it this. Yes, this is for client. This is for the clients. Obviously, we do not need to deploy it on the server, so we don't need it in the game namespace. I don't know how far we're going to get into mono. Okay, I'll add another project. I need another project maybe, but we'll do that if we do that. Let me just do that, and then let me in the actual code we just created. Let me fire that up in. I'm not gonna swap to my screen view for this, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into the configurations. I'm going to go into the project files, and I'm going to that stuff we did last time. I'm literally just going to bippity boppity boot. Like bippity boppity boot that into existence. Okay. So that stuff we set up last time with the auto loading, like the tests and the okay, so now we have our MonoGame namespace. So first and foremost, pull this up. Second and most, we're going to do this. Add new folder. And I'm gonna add that. Okay, let's add a new class first and foremost. Let's make our new game class. What is the Microsoft X? Because I chose that, because I chose Portman there, we're going to do that. So we're going to define that. Define that. I main game thread, and we need the stop function. No, I'm going to refract. I'm going to refactor that. I'm gonna refactor that and get rid of it. So yeah, okay. We'll just refactor that to exit just so I don't need to define that, because that was literally just a call forward. Okay, so we need stuff and things. So we have dependency injections. The first thing I'm gonna need the instructor. Public XNA game iLogger. XNA game. Let's just type that hard because why not? And this constructor is going to get a little big. We will fix that in a second, but I just need to get these first few things in. Okay, so we're going to need to start setting up stuff. So let me just do. I'm going to do protected read-only logger game logger. Protected read-only configuration. That. We are going to need a main constructor, but it's going to be screaming at me to make it a primary constructor. Also to fix these nullables, but okay, so yeah, we're gonna need to forward some of these, farm some of the stuff we're doing in our game here. We're gonna need to farm some of it out to, yeah, we're gonna need to farm some of it out to, other things. Okay, so we're gonna need to make a services here. Other. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do, I'm just going to go line by line. Okay, the first thing we need add new item. Where is the new? I need the new item. Brain's not working. And just so I don't repeat logic here, I am going to make a base. I'm going to make a base service. We're going to use a little bit of inheritance just because all these services, for the most part, are going to need some logic. Shared logic, and I don't want to rewrite it all the time. I'm just going to call it game service base, and we're going to make this an abstract class. It's inherit disposable, and I don't need to inherit that manually. Okay. Okay, so we're gonna add some logic here. So we're gonna do public virtual boolean is innate. Okay, so we're gonna define that. I'm also going to make a base interface just so we can pull these in easily. Game service. This base. We're just going to create that and pull that. Okay, so we're just gonna pull that in. And this needs to be an interface. I didn't set this up yet, my bad. Okay, so pull that in, pull that in. So we're gonna use, like I said, we're primarily gonna be focusing on composition and DI for this game, but we are going to use some inheritance where it makes sense. Because what I'm going to do here is I'm going to do public virtual void initialize. I need to define that. Where is that using this? This XerShade framework game. Let's do this. Initialize. Now this dot is initialized equals true. And you know what? I don't even need that. And yeah, we're just going to, I will extend this as I need it, but yeah, we can do shenanigans. Give me a sec. I'm trying to think. Okay, anyway. Void load content. Fingers do, but there. And yeah, we're just going to copy this, do this, and we're boop, boop, boop. I'm gonna maybe change some of these parameters in a second, but yeah, we're just gonna set this up for services. And then I'm just going to pull these, public, so let me just pull those up. Okay. Just have those. We'll just deal with that. Hang on, just let me deal with this. I'm trying to think. Hang on. Okay, so the main thing we need is the main thing we're doing here is the content manager thing here. We need to deal with that. So yeah, we need functions. Okay, anyway, look void assign content manager. Content manager. And then we need private content manager. Content manager, get that. No. Get nullable. Do this content manager equals content manager. I need to do argument. Okay. So we assign content manager, and then we can. So I need to inject this service. I need to actually inherit that. Okay, so we need that. Inherit that for now. I'm not sure if I need that. Just doing stuff will refactor it if we need it. Okay. I actually need to change that too. So let's change that. Change that. Neat. Oh, this needs to be not a... There, that needs to be a field. That's the problem. Okay. And then we need to make a public accessor for that, so public... virtual content manager instance get this content manager is null. Throw no reference exception. Return that. This is literally all this basically is. No, 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 no. Okay, so we have this set up. Yeah, but that actually doesn't need. I'm pretty sure we don't need any actual initializer logic. So, anyway, let's inject that. So, protected read-only on content manager service, content manager. And we need to inject that content manager service, content manager, this by content. So I'm gonna do some I'm gonna do some shenaniganery here. Okay, so now we have our content manager exposed without needing to pull the game in every time we want that. So I'm also, like I said, I'm going to do a little bit of shenaniganery here. I'm going to try that. I'm going to do, like I said, I'm going to do some I'm going to do a little bit of shenaniganery there just so I can do that in one line. So we inject that, and then I need to this.content manager instance. No. Assets. Okay, so that's what initialized the content manager. Okay, now we need the graphics device manager. Okay, so yeah, this is this. This is a little messy. I will clean this up. Anyway, so that is our content manager service. So now if anything that needs content manager, I don't need to directly inject the game and get it from. Like, we can just do this .instant. So like, we can inject it like we're doing here, and then we can do, say I was like in a thing where I wanted to load content, we could do that. That also keeps it tied to the instance, so yeah. I don't know. Anyway, that's done. So next things next, let's just, like I said, we're just going to go through this and we're going to dependency injectionalize it, and then we're going to get some like modular automated stuff going. Anyway, real quick, content manager service. Hi, do we actually do anything with the content manager initialization in the initialize? No. I don't actually need this, and I don't actually need this. Oh, let me make the registrar real quick for this, because yeah, I'm going to need that too. New folder. MonoGame. This is going to be multiple things. I'm just going to start it off here. I'm going to start it off with the easy stuff here. Let's register type XNA game as right. I need that using. I should just define that. I might do that later. Figure that out later. Let's just do that in case we need it, and as I main game thread. Thank you. Dot single instance. And then we need to add a builder dot register type content. Content manager service dot as I content manager service dot single instance. Okay, so that's working there. So yeah, we just need to keep this on hand and deal with that as we need. Okay, so we have our content manager service, so we can grab that whenever we need it. Yay. Next up, graphics device. Oh, fun. Yeah, we come in here, we do that. Next up, we need to spin up the graphics device. And that actually is going to need the initialization logic. So yeah, let's add that service. Add item. Add new graphics. No. Okay, you know what? Actually, you know what? This whole game service base thing, I don't really. What? Screw it. Delete that. I'm just gonna repeat myself. Okay, so this, we need a. Basically, gonna do the same thing, but let me just come in here for this. Let me just do this, and then we'll. Okay, so we need to create a new graphics device manager. So in our. Let me also just add that to the registrar real quick. Type graphics device service as my graphics device service. I want that one, single instance. Okay. Now I'm going to manually define that here. I'm just going to get ahead of me. I'm just going to manually define that here because I know in 2 seconds it's going to scream at me. Yes, graphics device. Oh, no, I can't do that. Hang on, I need to make that service. Also, yes, I know this constructor is getting a little long. I will fix it. This graphics device service equals that. And just bippity, boppity, boopity. Okay, so we need to manually define this up here because my thing conflicts with X and A's thing. But anyway, yeah, we need to make a new graphics device manager. So do this graphics device service dot create device manager. Yeah, plug that through. Actions refactorings. Let me actually just typecast this real quick. So we'll... Actually, you know what? Let me pull it. I'll fix it in this. Let me just... Anyway, let's just add that. I'll just plug slowly. Just plug that in there, and then we'll switch that to that. And then good. I'll implement the functions for this service in a second. Let me just get it sorted. Okay, so in the game we just need to create that, and then for now I'm just going to set the is nice is equal to true. We will load that via the configuration layer, but we don't have a configuration. It's not for MonoGame yet. Okay, so going through the game class. Now, the initialize function, we were not doing anything in there before, but we need to do something there now. Why am I getting so many freaking emails today? Leave me alone. Brain is already done. Okay, we need to override the initialize function. Okay, so we need to do on this, we need to do this graphics device service okay, we need to assign the graphics device. We're just going to add that to our interface as well. And then this is just so I don't have to pass the game through. So like we don't need to actually get the game. We can like specifically call specific services. So we don't need to pass the whole game around. So if we have something that's just loading content, we just call the content services. If we're messing like the sprite batch is going to need this. Camera is going to need that. Like it's just chunking it up into pieces, and eventually we'll need more pieces. But we're just trying to get the base. We're trying to get the cornflower blue back. Okay, so yeah, initialize. We need to actually pass the graphics device in because this is not initialized until initialize happens. So yeah, we need that. Anyway, now that we have this, let's go here, boop this in, and it's going to be mad. Just that, and then I'm just going to steal these, find them. Okay, so long story short, that content manager pattern I just used here, yeah, we're going to need this. I need this, and I'm gonna need this here, and I'm just gonna have to change the variable names. Alright, so why make that read only? We do not want that. Oh, it's because I haven't done it yet. Okay, anyway. Yeah, no, this here, we're literally just going to copy this, we're going to paste this, and we're just going to convert this. Not that. That is not what we're doing. It's this, that. Except we're literally just going to go through here and change everywhere we see the word content manager. We're just going to change it. Actually, we don't need to return that because we're not doing shenanigans here. I just did shenanigans up here. I might undo that change. We'll figure it out. I might just. I'm gonna not do that actually. Yeah, I'm going to undo that. Let me just get that. This void that. Okay. Anyway, let me finish going through this and get rid of everything and anything that looks like the graphics device. Okay, so we have the same like we have the same like initialization going on here. We just assign that in, and if we try to access the instance before it's ready, screen. Now the only other thing we need to do is we just need to do this. So we just need to do this. Actually, I don't do that in a function. I just need to do this. This dot manager instance equals new graphics device. And then, yeah, we just need to take this and then another property for accessing it, and then pull this all up into the interface, and we should be good. Let me reframe this. Reframe refactor. My brain is not willing to. Let's do. Manager. Base manager. No. Not this, but I want to change it to that, and then we literally just want to. Okay. Then we just need to quick actions. Goes up to base type, select public, to that, thank you. Okay, I think we're good, other than the fact that I just did that. Hey, Code Sense, do you want to not double pull things? Thank you. Okay, so we have the graphics manager shenanigans going on here, so now we can just close out of this. And close out of this. Okay, and then here we're just going to, okay, so let's do that. And do this. Let's just put that back where it was. This. Content manager dot assign content manager. This content. And in the initialize function, okay, so we have a graphics device. Good to know. Again, we'll add more stuff in later. I'm just trying to get the basic game. Okay, next we need to set up our sprite batch, which means we need our sprite batch service. Fun. Anyway, new item. Hi, sprite batch service. Interface. Bippity boppity boop. This, add new thing, same as those things. Different. Fact, you know what? To save my life, time, and energy, I am literally just going to come in here. I'm going to copy this. I am going to paste this in here. I'm going to inherit I sprite batch service. RG. Control RG is how you quickly get rid of using Spider. Like, is the shortcut key for that. If you hear me say RG, it's yeah. Anyway, yeah, we're just gonna come here. We're just gonna replace the word content manager with sprite batch, and we're going to match case, please. And we're gonna do the same thing up here. Except we're gonna do a little different on the assign function. Not gonna be an assign function. Just general idea. Okay, you know what? Now we're gonna get rid of this. Let's get rid of that. We have our instance pattern. Again, I might want to make this into a type, like a base type or something I could do. Maybe I'll make it like into the instance base or something. I don't know. Ideas for later. Anyway, why is this here? Go away. Yeah, okay, so we need to, in load content, we need to initialize our function, our sprite batch service. First of all, we need to inject our sprite batch service. I sprite batch service. Sprite batch service. Protected, read only. Protected. Protected. Read only I sprite batch service. Sprite batch service. And then we just need to assign it. That's okay. Just over that because that's bugging me. You. Okay, so we need to do that. Again, we don't do anything with this until load content. Remove and get rid of that. Thank you. Blah 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 blah. Right, anyway, now we need to override load content. Actually, I don't actually need to inject anything. I just need to call that there. And I don't need to... Why am I not getting... What? Oh! That's a problem. Glad I noticed that. A good thing I have these registrars. Can you imagine me never fixing that? Anyway. I don't really care about that right now. That warning will go away in about 3 seconds. Okay, we registered that. Okay, so we just need that, and what I need to do here, let me just look here. Yeah, we literally just need the graphics device. So, hi, constructor, I graphics device service. Graphics device. Using statement. Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to define. I'm gonna have to define a couple of these globally. Maybe I will deal with that later. Anyway, quick extra factorings. Add that. And then let's go back here. Let's go here. Let's go here. Let's go there. And then my background music has not been on this entire time. I hear it. The OBS does not hear it. Sorry for no background music until now. I forgot to forgot to set that up. Anyway, actions, implement interface, and this is literally just going to be that. Okay, so there's our sprite badge. Eat. Okay, and then in the load content stuff, for now, I'm just going to... You know what, we can inject this test code as a service. So let me just make a... add... I'll make it a commit thing. Yeah, I'll just make this a test service real quick. Hang on, let me add new item. Test service. I'm just gonna define it here. This is not gonna be anything important again. And we're literally just going to copy this here. This is what? This is what? No, not numerics. Okay, the rest of this should come in. Okay. Content manager service, content manager, actions factorings, field. Okay, so we just do that now. Yay. And let me just fix it. Completions. Yay, so we got that chunk of code there. I'm going to quickly inject this into our thing real quick. I'm just going to register that. Oh, that needs to be synced. Okay. Yeah, we're going to have our test service, and then I'm just going to inject this into our game. Okay, let me actually organize it. Test service. Just come here, we'll just go this test service load content. So that is our load content function. Now we just need the update function, which is just gonna be this because it doesn't need to do anything. That fix that violation rate. Debrief. And we want to do this dot exit. Okay, we'll be adding more logics and funds later, but yeah, we're not good. Okay, so then we just need our draw logic. Just going to borrow this. Again, we'll be expanding on these things later, but I just want to get it working. Okay, that is the last of that. So what I need is I need to take this code right here up into our test service. So we need public draw game time. That is the wrong set of braces. Okay. Ah! See, that's going to be a little bit of a shenanigans here. I'm just going to pass that in real quick. Actually, we can inject that in the load. That should be happy now. Okay, now we're just gonna do where's that variable? Okay, we just injected that there. Okay, so just violations that are showing as actual violations. That. I don't know why I'm going in this. Like, I don't know why I'm bothering going in this much on test code, but I am. Okay, so the last thing we need to get our sprite batch service hooked in. So let me actually fix it. Let me fix this first. This graphics place service instance.clear. That shouldn't really matter, but I'm just gonna do everything on the services just so we don't have foolery going on. Why do we not have the instance? Sprite patch service, hi. Did I not pull this up? Apparently not. Anyway, so yeah, we're just going to do that, and then we don't need to do anything else here, because with dependency injection for the sprite batch, we literally just have to do sprite batch service sprite batch Assign that to a field. And do that. Okay, so that should be all of our like existing game 1 done. Should be all that. So now if I just come in here and delete these, go away. So yeah, this is the wonderful thing about DI. Because we set up our program.cs like this last time, I don't need to change like over. I can change it over by just deleting that old registrar and then doing that here. I'm not really doing much yet, but I just wanted to get the same functionality going with this. So now, if I press the run button, we are going to hope and pray that it draws the cat to the screen and doesn't implode. And again, I don't really care about this class too much. This class is just test code. It will be deleted at some point. Like a lot of this, like paths and stuff are going to get redone anyway, I said last time, so yeah, a lot of this is I just want to get the test code working in a DI-based program. Oh, I didn't set... Did I change that back, actually? I'll check that in a sec. We're also running in debug right now anyway, so... Boop, boop, boop. And window. Cool. We have cat. We have the original functionality, but it is now dependency injection based. So next step is to basically automate these so it's not just like manually injecting a test service. Also put that down there. And that down there. Yeah. So yeah, we have stuff. It works. Yay. Like I said, next thing is to get some like injection going in the like actual logic, not just setting up this. Yeah, that works. Let me just on this test service real quick. Let me just fix all this because this is it's test code. It's garbage code. It's going to annoy the literal shit out of me. It is literally going to annoy me to death if I do not fix this. Anyway, I'm gonna get rid of that for now. We don't need that folder. Yeah, we have our new DI-based MonoGame. Now we can get to work on injecting some good things. Didn't they? I'm just making sure this looks pretty much. Yeah, there are obvious ways to inject stuff better. Like, I want to make a service to do that. Like, get a client-side service or something. Again, things we can work on. This commit, I wanted to work on adding. I just wanted to get the DI functioning. Why did iGame thread change? Oh, because I changed stop to exit. Okay. Forgot about that. I'm like, why did that change? That shouldn't have changed. No, we changed it because then I donate to employee. Yeah. Okay, so that was the fun part. Now comes the next fun part. We're going to implement some enumerable. Alright, so we're actually going to get rid of this real quick. We're not going to directly inject the test service anymore. Let me just get rid of all instances of that. Unfortunately, that means I can't inject. Okay, I'm gonna have to create a new service real quick. Add new. Yeah, we're gonna have to create a. We're just gonna have to make this. We're just gonna have to make this to inject. So, yeah. Let's create interface. Add item. Windows service. Use that. Public virtual for initialize. Let's just do this. Where's my theme? Factories, that. That also do this service. We just need to forward that in, and then it's literally just stuff we never. Blah 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 blah. There's the window. No. This window, and then we just need the freaking pattern here. Again, I'm gonna copy this pattern into something. I'm going to make that into a repeatable class because I'm getting a little annoyed typing this in. Window. Oh, gee. Window. No, hold up. That. Literally copy paste of what we just did. Yeah, I'm gonna make a pattern, like an instance pattern base or something. Anyway, let me just add this builder, not base. Type window service as window service single instance. I like the autofact way of doing this better, by the way. That's why we're using autofacts. Anyway, I just need to inject that now. Actions refactoring, create this field Windows service. Windows service, get rid of that. Get rid of that. Okay, and then I need to pull the. Yeah, I definitely need that. Hi, where's my dot instance? this over. Hold on. That instead. What that freaking music blasting inside? Stop it, you're being rude. Okay, so that is a little more DI focused, and then I don't have a way to test that right now, but screw it. Bring the test service back just so I can fix this. Create design field. I'm not feeling well today as well, so yeah. Create design field test service. Stop it. I didn't mean to get rid of that word. Yeah, we should not be injecting things through the methods aside from like stuff like game time. Like obviously we don't want to get a game time service, but that's just slow. Like, but for like load content, like we don't want to inject like 20 different variables in 20 different classes. That's just going to be a DI like maintainable nightmare. But like draw functions, with the next step of this, yeah, we want all the draw functions to take a game time because, spoiler warning, we're going to... I need a game to time that. Spoiler warning, in these functions, we're going to get an IEnumerable and just loop through them and call all these functions and where appropriate, like past the game time. And I am not there yet. Anyway, let's run this again, and yeah, so I fixed the window size. Also, like this code here, I want to move this to like a logic function at some point, but yeah, we're just doing stuff, DI modularizing things. Like the next thing, we're not going to call them registrars, but the next thing is do like I have the composition registrars, where it can be like iService registrar, configuration register, iService provider registrar, like these here. You can use any of these three to compose a registrar. We're going to do that, but like with MonoGame's thing. So like we'll have an initializer, a load contenter. Bad word. Just go with me here. I'm just going by the function thing. Updater, drawer. Like, yeah, we'll just make a bunch of those, register them with a very nice function of autofac. I need to fix that. we'll fix. Hang on. Let me fix that real quick as well. Visual Studio, I am like almost done, and then I need an app or something. Can we just please? Thank you. That's not what I want. Got a bad migraine because patients affected early on. If I work on this more, I might stop streaming soon. But if I work on this more, I'll just record it. Maybe. Let me get rid of it. Code. Can't remember what I did. Sampler state, that's what I'm looking for. Good comma there. I don't need to switch that later, but yeah, just here. Okay, that should fix the pixelation. I need to know we did multiple stuff. Double size, so 248. Long new power is of 2, multiples of 2. I don't know, my brain is starting to literally not work. No, unfortunately, it's not going to. I did that wrong. Let me fix this too. I just realized I screwed up my test code. Seconds. Okay, so yeah, we got the cat now. Yay. Anyway, let's do this not here. Yes, we do need to do that there. Hang on. No, let's just better do. Just do this 2. Do this semi-properly. Yes, it's never used. It'll be used in about 3 seconds. Are you going to scream at me that needs a thing? No, cool, got it. Okay. That's going to cancel out. Kinda, sorta, maybe not really. Oh no, that should work. The cat should still be in the middle of the screen. Yeah, next step is to get the injection going for the stuff so it automatically injects it into the game and I don't have to manually inject and stuff. Like I said, spoiler warning, we're gonna make a composition using enumerables. But yeah, I just want to get this done because I'm sort of running out of gap like in here. That should be in the center of the screen. You know what? I don't care right now. I'll just commit this. Again, this is all test code anyway. It's not staying. Yeah. Anyway, I'm going to commit this and wrap it up. Oh, you guys can't see. I didn't check. You know what? While I'm committing this, let's just. if it'll load, please. Okay, so yeah, we're getting our things. And I'll be doing more blocking and stuff too. Just right now, I'm just trying to get it working as it was before we go off the deep end of trying to complicate the crap out of this. Okay, and then the memory should level off after it's finished initializing and stuff. Okay. And we have cat and we have bigger cat. And bigger cat is fun because if I was to come here, sort of break. Again, this would be like controllable by something else. If I was to just insert a breakpoint and run it again. Update that code. Big cat. It's not centering properly. That's a problem for another day. But we have big cat. Maybe it actually might be centering. I think the cat is actually centered. I need to get some rectangle drawing and stuff going for debugs. Yeah, we can figure this out later. Yay. Anyway, we have a modular dependency injection game. What we need now is we need to, like, now that we have this set up, like this bit set up, we need to start, like, farming out some of the other stuff. So, like, what I can do is I don't even, actually, I don't think I can farm some of this out. Like, there's no way in a for each loop to farm out each of these parameters. So yes, okay, some of this stuff might actually have to stay, but like generic stuff like this could be farmed out. So like I could farm this out, but like farming out specifically this stuff, because I don't think that's public. Let me just check something real quick. Oh, maybe it is. Okay, maybe we could farm that out. Okay, I don't know. We'll figure that out next time. Some stuff, yeah, we might have to some stuff here, but like, yeah, maybe we could do that. I don't know. The goal is to make things as modular as possible, so we can oops, just do that. Just do an urge. Alright, so yeah, anyway. Yeah, so like, obviously some stuff here, like, we want this stuff here to be hard set, because we want, like, this to happen and then do stuff. Like, we don't want stuff grabbing, we don't want this to be in a for each loop somewhere random. Like, some of the stuff we want here, like this, some of the stuff we want to be hard stuff. Like this, I could farm out to like the actual services using things, magic, enumeration magic, saying like here. Up here we could do something maybe. I don't know. We'll figure that out next time. Anyway, I'm calling out a stream. I am not feeling well. I am going to go lie down. I got the main things I wanted to get done today done, which was get unit testing going and get the DI going into the game loop. So we need the graphics device. We just grab this instead of grabbing the whole game and going game.graphics device. Because what this does, kind of, sort of, this makes it so if I abstracted this a little better, like if I went deep into the abstraction, the game logic would never change. Like if I changed this from MonoGame to like pure DirectX, we could just change how this works, like the back end. This here, like, yeah. If it wasn't hard typing here and here, like if these were interfaces or something, and I'll look it up. we were to abstract these, which I'm not doing right now, even if I do them, if I even do that, if we were to abstract this out, change this namespace, we could do like Reoria client graphics, and then just have this, and then if we change the direct text, we just change how this works, but our logic stays the same. I don't know. Again, my brain is starting to not brain. So anyway, I'm going to wrap up. I'm going to call it a stream. Hope everyone enjoyed. We're coming along nicely, even though we're still in like the very early stages, but this will be working. So next step is to kind of do what we did with the engine container, where we do this. Yeah, okay, so like stuff like this logic here, but we don't have to manually do this. We can just inject into the registrars. Like, we can do this. I'm just going to do this. Builder, register type. Let's okay, actually, yeah, the test service. So we have the test service right here. What we can do instead, actually, is instead of like this, we can do this lovely function as implemented interfaces. So what this would do, if I had, I'm not keeping this, by the way. If I had this and here are a bunch of interfaces, like iDisposable, iDictionary, let's just do a bunch of iRender, whatever. Like if I had all these, pretending these are like initializer, load thing, whatever, we could just automatically do that. And then this will be, we could automatically do that, and then so like this one line of code would register all of the like initialize, load content, update, draw, unload. Like, yeah, we don't need to. The idea is to get stuff like the program.cs to a point where we don't have to touch it anymore. Again, that might be. I don't want to make that change. You don't want to do another command. Yeah, like the only thing we should be changing is like the actual services and the registrars. Like base container game stuff, we just want to set it up, and then like we have the builder here, like with the container, we just do this, and then like I said, .as implemented interfaces, and then we just have like a bunch of composition interfaces like we have with the registrars here. Like if I did configuration registrar. Yeah, composition-based dependency injection. Fun. Anyway. Anyway, for realsy this time, I am pressing the stop stream button. Again, hope everyone enjoyed. See you all next time. Next time, we're further building on our game loop. And then after that, we get to the fun stuff, like implementing MonoGame.extended for the camera, ECS, tiled maps. By the way, tile maps and stuff, like actual game data, may or may not work on stream. Because I might just sit down and like, oh, I need to write, like, I might just have like a moment where it's like, oh, I need to pop this lore into the game, so I might just, again, I haven't figured this out yet, I might just, you know, right click here, new JSON file, start stuff. So if I go, I'm just gonna borrow one of the app settings that like, either I'll just commit it into the repository as like a random file and then implement it properly. Like, yeah, I might just come down here and be like, oh, I have a quest. So let's make it just a name. And quest. Again, this is not thing, but I'm just saying, like, I might have some requirements. Yeah. No, I want it there. Where are we? That's not a comma there. We can't really do that everywhere. Anyway, you get the point. So, like, there are things. There are things where I might just want to come down and like do stuff for like content and stuff. But I don't know. Again, we'll figure it out. Open source. If I do anything off stream, I'm trying to do all the major stuff on stream, but if I do stuff off stream, like organize the assets, or I think of a bunch of like lore quests, NPCs and stuff I want to add as data, like not even implement, but just add like the game lore and stuff to the game world. That again, whole thing on GitHub. Anyway, for the like 6th time, pressing stop stream button, stop getting distracted, brain. ADHD is a curse.